So there's four key components to a co-location service: rack footprint, a resilient network, and a redundant cooling and power infrastructure. Today I'm going to talk to you about the power specifically, how it comes on site, and then how it's then presented to a customer's rack or customer's equipment. So we have two dedicated diverse grid feeds that come from separate parts of the national grid into site here, and it's terminated on substations, otherwise known as HV1 and HV2. You find ourselves in HV1 now, where our switching gear resides, and the switching gear gives us the ability to isolate the grid feed. If there was ever any issues with the UK national grid, it then wouldn't impact our customers when on site. So one of the 11,000 volt grid feeds terminates in this substation, or HV1. The switching gear behind us has a function called a bus coupler. And the reason we have two incoming power feeds from separate parts of the national grid is basically if there's an issue with one of them, the bus coupling function allows us to basically distribute power from this substation to the other substation to still have power coming onto site to still be able to source our customers' needs. Key component to this switching gear, there is a transformer. Basically, the power from here needs to be converted into low voltage power or usable power so our customers can then use that in their racks. And that purpose or the function of the transformer is to do exactly that. So I'll show you what an LV1 or LV2 looks like and how that then feeds into our UPSs or uninterrupted power supplies. So we're now 30 meters underground and you find ourselves in UPS 14. And basically the power now has been converted into low voltage power or 400 volts. So this is now usable power, which then from here is distributed to our customer's rack. And you can see here the two lights. We've got supply 1 and 2, so you can see that they are readily available. And then the green lights here, you can see that one is on, at the moment it's on LV2, so that's where the power supply is coming from. So then basically from here, we will then take you through to the customer's rack and we will show you where the A and B feeds are actually presented. So we're now really at the final stage of the power's journey, effectively. So it's come from the separate parts of the national grid, gone into the substations, HV1, LV1, all that good stuff. It's then gone into usable power from the UPS perspective. It's then presented to a customer's rack like this with PDUs from separate UPSs. So Cyberfort's co-location service, we offer true diverse A and B feeds when it comes to our power. So we've covered off everything from a power perspective from separate parts of the national grid to the customer's cabinet. All of this infrastructure has a backup system. So that's what I want to show you next, is the generators and the UPSs and how that then impacts if there was ever to be an issue. So at the very start of the video, we've spoken about a redundant power infrastructure and the key word there being redundant. So everything that we've spoken about from the grid feeds coming in and presenting it to the customer's rack, this is all backed by our UPSs and our generation system you can see behind me. So the UPSs, they're always on, but they will be kicking in when the grid feeds do fail. They have a 20-minute runtime, and inside that 20 minutes, there's a 30-second delay before this generation system kicks in. So this generation system has an output of over 2 megawatts of power. And to put that into comparison, it can run or power a small UK village, essentially. And the on-site fuel system we have, that's over 20,000 litres of fuel. So that gives us a runtime of around 3 or 4 days. And when we sort of talk about 2N in terms of need on site, that is then adopted in terms of our refuelling, priority refuelling contracts. So although we have 20,000 litres of fuel on site, we have bought or purchased 12,000 litres of fuel off site. And basically that's on an 8-hour response or just behind the blue lights. So if you think back to the 20 minutes runtime, these kick in after 30 seconds. They have again, they have 3 or 4 days of fuel on site. We've got another 12,000 litres of fuel, which is ready to go in the event that we have to sort of result in just generation power. So again, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please do give us a like. If you do have any questions, leave a comment below. And obviously to keep up to date with recent content, recent videos, please subscribe to our channel.